Good afternoon, in this video. Today we have a combo request by Sky Egg for the Crusader AA Mark I and the Firefly F Mark I. This is probably one of the most interesting combos I've been given so far in this little series of ours. And this is going to be an interesting one for a couple of reasons. So as we know, I love the Crusader tank, but the problem is of course, we don't have the traditional Crusader turret. We have the Bofors. And with that, we get -6 gun depression and not, I think it's 15 on a Crusader 2. As a result, this might be a bit of a problem for us. But I think we'll be okay. So, what is the Crusader AA like to play? Well, traditionally, like a Crusader, it's got the double-layered side armor, but loses the side skirts. We still have a little bit, but for the extra heat protection, I prefer to have that, but obviously because this is an open-top vehicle, we are vulnerable to overpressure, so we can't be as aggressive like we were in the Crusader video, which will be... I think that comes out 2 days after this, after this one will, so yeah. But you'll see the difference between what we have to do with this one compared to that one and what we get away with in that Crusader. So the AA itself does have an AP belt. We have the M81A1 APT belt, which is a pretty solid belt for this BR. 72mm of penetration, and it maintains pretty good penetration characteristics. And it's not too bad. And of course the shrapnel is also pretty nice. And of course, being a Crusader, we still have the same mobility and the same forward and reverse gears. So we don't really lose too much. What we do lose, however, is 2 crew members and survivability, with the ammo rack pretty much being right in front of the poor sods. And yeah, this isn't going to go well if we get hit, let's put it that way. The driver has the best seat in the house, but even that is questionable at best. The Firefly we've covered before on the channel, so I don't really need to talk too much about this plane, but of course, we do have access to some big bombs, rockets, etc. So we don't really have anything to worry about here. I'm going to load stealth for this. But it is still quite a good aircraft for this, and I think we'll do alright with it. But of course, the main star of the show will be the Crusader, because, well, who doesn't want to run around blasting people with an AA? And not only that, this is one of the few vehicles that I haven't actually finished my skins on. I've still got to get the winter camo and the North African tricolour, but I've just not had the time. So hopefully we can get some kills towards that, maybe even finish the winter camo today. So, let's get in and let's get cracking. I'm looking forward to this one. It's going to be an interesting one for this, but... On Conquest, however, this might be a problem, but we will see. It looks like a max up tier as well. So this is going to be tricky, and obviously with us going to 3.3, which is what this thing used to be at, we could potentially face 4-3 tanks, so we're not going to be able to crack as many tanks as we used to be able to. I'm quite happy with the Crusader AA going down to this BR. I don't think it's busted, and to be brutally honest, it did kind of need it. So let's have a look. Yeah, it looks to be 4-0. Which is okay for me, because we've got the pen to deal with a lot of the German and Swedish tanks that we're going to come across. It's if we were facing stuff like the Russians and the Americans, that's where we would struggle. But thankfully, we've got the penetration to deal with German tanks for the most part. We can even turret face a lot of the Panzer IVs, so that's also pretty nice. And obviously with our mobility, we can afford to get into positions like up there, which I've just marked out for that KV-1 there. And hopefully we should be able to get some side shots, get some shots overall that would benefit us. And you never know, maybe even get some long distance shots on Pumas, which this thing does very well at killing. So we'll have to see, won't we? And of course there is this spot up here, which I'm not going to point out to the KV-1, but you know, like, there's a lot of option for us. We have a lot of options, we can use these options, and hopefully we can get some work done in terms of assisting the team and things like that. So I'm going to clear this tree and take a look at the surroundings, because in this position you're quite vulnerable from over here, and it looks to be clear. But of course, we can be aggressive, but we can't be too aggressive. And there we go, we've got a vehicle up there. It's Puma. And there we go. I don't quite have a shot on that Stog. Now I do. See, this thing as a tank destroyer isn't actually that bad. It's like, the problem is now is that we've got tanks like that moving up and a Churchill. Okay, he's dead. T-34's moving up. I'm gonna have to reverse. I don't want them knowing I'm here. But I think the Churchill's coming for us. Now, normally I'd have destroyed this tree in front of us, but I actually want it for the extra cover, because obviously they think that I'm up on the road when I'm not, and look, there's the Churchill. I don't know if you guys saw it there, I'm just going to move the camera so you can see it. But there's a Churchill Mark III. I can pen that, but not easily. We can pen the side armor, but we have to get very close for that to happen. We give it a go? I mean, we're not really going to lose anything. It's just if he's got backup or not. I think we might be okay to go for it. No, he's seen us. He's seen us. It's far too late now. I don't know how he saw us, but we're dead. He even loaded high explosive. I'd love to know how he saw us, let alone heard us, but... That's fine. Let's jump into Firefly. I've just noticed we didn't even have a backup on the Crusader. I thought I did, but apparently not. That just seemed a bit odd. Like, the fact that he just immediately flipped his turret around because... I don't know what to think about that one. And not only that, he's been slaughtering most of my team and he just knew exactly where I was at that moment in time. He must have thought I wasn't a threat, but even then, like... He knew exactly where I was. That was a bit odd. I'm not saying he's cheating or anything before anyone thinks that. It just seems suspicious, that's all. I'd have to check the server replay, and I really can't be bothered to deal with that. So, yeah, we're not going to. Right. And look, he's straight away locked onto me. I'm a bit suspicious about him now. That's for certain. The fact that he immediately knew and swung his turret around from where I was coming from, that's a bit dodgy. He's defo earning these 1,000 pounders, that's for sure. But before I do that, I need to deal with this AA. Problem is, there's a nice juicy dick in Maxstone. I'd be stupid to ignore that. Eat this, you fucker. Oh no. And he still gets kill credit. That's really stupid, Kaijin, but sure. Alright, let's move on to a second match. Well, welcome to the second match. I'm apologising for that first match not going too great, but, well, that's what happens when you have a suspicious player. I checked the squadron whilst I was waiting for a match, and... Russian squadron, all of them have high kill-to-death ratios in crap vehicles and or not very competitive vehicles, and of course the meta vehicles they have high kill-death ratios in. I'm very suspicious about that. Let's put it that way. But anyway, let's move on. We're not going to let some scumbags who have to rely on crap like that to get us down. So... let's just move on. So this is a good map for us, but the problem is my spot's only really good if you have 10 degrees of gun depression. So we don't really have anything where we can go Yeah, we can work this position. The problem is we can't, but I'd rather sit up here and get some points than drive in, face a Chinese T-34 or a Swedish T-34 and just die. But, you know. Yeah, we just can't get the gun down. And if I pull out here, we're at major risk. But you know what? Whoa, 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 whoa. How did he see us through that tree? Whoa. I don't know if anyone else saw that, but him up there in that Jagdpanzer, he almost shot me through the fucking tree there. Whoa, that was close. Luckily his aim sucks, but even a lot of like that's probably ULQ. Like that is at least explainable. But the Churchill player definitely not. That's a Panzer 3M. I mean, we can pen that, just not reliably. What? I didn't even see his fucking shell. Jesus Christ, Gaijin. They love to give these sorts of players the benefit, don't they? Alright, let's jump into Firefly. Oh. I can already tell it's going to be a frustrating day, but, well, that's just unfortunate. Let's see what we can do in the Firefly, because, like I said, I didn't even see him, like, I didn't even see his tracer, because that shell he fired, the heat shell, that has a tracer. You would see it coming. But, and that would have given me enough time to get out of the way, but, no. It just seems that Gaijin are just changing things for certain players, and it is extremely obvious what they're doing, but, you know. It's what happens when Gaijin just respect newer players more than they actually respect their older players. Quite sad, really, when you think about it. That's him dealt with, but we've got a plane at high altitude. Who might possibly have spotted us. Even though I'm running stealth belts. And yet, he spotted us, because of course he has. Get fucked. God, even running stealth, you're not safe. No tracers came off my plane, even using the fucking trees for cover, and I don't fucking know. I don't even know what's shooting at us now. I'm 100% betting he's been sat up there just waiting the entire game. I bet that's his first spawn. No, it's not. Wow. That's just what happens when you're facing Germany all the time, unfortunately. You just deal with morons like that. But yeah, given the current situation with suspicious players like that, because there's been a lot, there's been bots, there's been all sorts really, this isn't really a combo I would recommend. And the simple fact of the matter is, if you can get one shot by a 6-pounder HE, like, come on. It's just not good enough. So, if I was to suggest something, like, yeah, the Achilles is in the same boat, but at least it has a bit more armor. If you're going to take something light, you take the Sark Mark 6. This is a much better vehicle. It's more consistent. Actually gets 10 degrees of gun depression, gets scouting, and is just overall a better vehicle. The Achilles is a tank destroyer of a 17-pounder, actually has some degree of protection, which a 6-pounder HE shell would not kill it. And just overall is a better vehicle. And for a more traditional vehicle, you have the Cromwell. There is no real reason to be playing a Crusader AA Mk I in this day and age as a TD. I'm sure you can get away with it to some degree, but when you have a suspicious player in one match and a player who has no tracer in another, yeah, this is just unfortunately a combo that just doesn't work these days. Back in the day, sure, but with things like this going on, no. But anyway, I'll leave you all to it for today. I really hope you enjoyed seeing the Crusader AA in action, and I'll see you all on the next one.